friends. Thank you for listening. This is Frederick Kennedy. You're listening to the Frederick Kennedy Show. And today, I want to begin with a congratulations to the Attorney General Barr. Attorney General Barr is a significant factor in the restoration of trust and confidence in the American government. And I really feel that he deserves a lot of congratulatory comments and faith and trust from people, because it's a slow process, it's a difficult process. But I remember way back in an interview with Laura Ingraham several months ago, when Attorney General Barr said, listen, what was done to the president, President Trump, was egregious. The attempts of the intelligence agency was unconscionable. The attempt to have a coup d'etat, which means to overthrow the government of the United States, using the law against itself, using the government against itself, using American intelligence agencies against themselves in order to oust a man that they didn't like and they didn't want. This includes Brennan and Comey and Clapper and Strzok and all of the rest of these characters. Rosenstein, unbelievable. We all witnessed it. We all saw it. Mueller, who was the pit bull, Weinstein, unbelievable. Andrew Weinstein. These people, unconscionable, vicious, nasty people using the law against the people, against the government, against you, against me. And along comes a man named Barr, Attorney General Barr, and he decides to calmly and carefully pursue justice. Now, he follows Jeff Sessions, and I want to make a comment here about Jeff Sessions. I was disappointed in Jeff Sessions, but I don't think that Jeff Sessions was the problem. He was blindsided by Strzok and Page and Comey and Brennan and Clapper. These people he had known for years as a United States Senator, these people he had trusted in the past, Rosenstein and others. And suddenly they said to him, well, listen, for the sake of integrity, they acted. Remember, Comey said, we did things very quickly because they weren't ready for us. They didn't think that this kind of thing could happen. They didn't believe that the government agencies would turn against the government. So they got to Jeff Sessions real quick, and he did his best, a man of dignity, a man of integrity, a man of intelligence, and he was blindsided and besnookered, and he reclused himself. And then Rosenstein ran amok with Mueller and Weinstein and all the rest. And what did they have, 100 lawyers? Unbelievable. And Nadler and Pelosi and Schiff, unbelievable. Sessions is a good man. I really believe that. I think he's an honorable man. And I know he's running for re-election. I just want to say here that if I was a voter in his state, which I'm not, I would vote for Jeff Sessions. I know the new guy is just moved there recently. He's been there 2 years. I always get nervous about people who move to a state 2 years ahead of a Senate election and then run for senator. I mean, it's a 6-year term. Jeff Sessions is a long-term resident of a state, a long-term citizen of a state, a long-term official of the government. And this new guy pops in out of the clear blue sky, moves into the state, presto magic, he's running for senator against a weakened candidate, Jeff Sessions. I know President Trump is not backing Sessions, and I think that that's a mistake. But Sessions, in an interview about, maybe a year ago, said, people think I'm anti the president. He says, I was one of the very first, and he was. I was one of the very first to jump on board the Trump train. I was one of the very first to support Trump. And that's why he has appointed me Attorney General. That I got blindsided, that I got tricked, that I got surprised. President Trump, I believe Sessions would say, should not be surprised. He himself was Omarosa tricked him, Kelly tricked him, Saramochi tricked him. He fired them, but they did get in and they did trick him. And Comey and all these others. And then I believe personally FBI Director Ray, W-R-A-Y, has tricked him. President Trump has been tricked by a lot of people. And because he's a trusting person, and he's a believer, and he has confidence in other people's integrity, because he himself has integrity, himself has honesty, he himself has dignity, and he expects others to do the same. And when they don't, he's always surprised. And then he always has the ace in the hole, which is you're fired. So, okay. And the betrayals of Trump, even by his own niece in the latest book, scathing. It's a scathing gossip. Nasty, vile, vicious, private material that should never be published about anybody. But this gal is a nobody. She's insignificant. Her place in the world is a speck of dust. And now she's going to, as so many others, try to make a buck on Trump. She doesn't care about Trump. She doesn't care about anything. All she cares about is herself, her book, and her money. And anyone who buys it, and they shouldn't, but anyone who buys it should remember that it's about herself, her book, and her money. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter truth or false, lies, private matter, family matters. It doesn't matter. These people are low-life users of others in order to use Trump as a springboard, they believe, to something else. And they're never going to get there because you know what? People don't like betrayers. People don't like family members who tattletale on other family members. People don't like Judas. The name Judas goes down in history, just like with Romney, a Judas, others, a Judas. Now, Sessions, I believe, was not a Judas. I believe he was blindsided, he was tricked, and in his own way, he tried, to the best of his ability, to carry out his duties, but eventually he was asked to resign by the president, and he did. And I think running for senator, I wouldn't have done it myself, but I think Sessions has a point. He has not written a tell-all book. He has not given a tell-all interview. He has not gone forth and told all kinds of tattletales and insider information about Trump. He has conducted himself with dignity and honor and intelligence. And I believe that the people of his state should give him a break, give him a chance, because he will do better for them than the usurper who just moved there 2 years ago. Okay, so now back to A.G. Barr. Now, A.G. Barr told Laura Ingraham that he wanted to make sure that he had all his I's dotted, all his T's crossed, and every bit of information accurately evaluated, reevaluated, proven, reproven, and unassailable, so that when he did issue subpoenas, when he did issue indictments, they would be unassailable, and he would be in a winning position. Because this is a political situation, because people will say that Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Strzok and Page and Rosenstein acted politically, some people will say, well, a political action is not a crime. But A.G. Barr is going after it from did they lie? Did they falsify documents? Did they lie to the FISA court? Did they trick people into doing things? Did they misuse the law? Did they manipulate documents? Did they feign ignorance when necessary? Did they hide documents? Did they keep 6,000 documents away from the Flynn case? Did they lie to the White House? Did they betray their fiduciary? Comey sits there in that interview on television and says, well, you know, I would never have gotten away with it under Barack Obama. He was organized. I would have never gotten away with it under George Bush. He was organized. I would have never have even tried such a nefarious, I would use the word nefarious or nasty or vicious or vile thing under any other administration. But the Trump administration was disorganized in the beginning, so I decided to take advantage of that disorganization. He was the FBI director. He worked for the President of the United States of America, newly elected by the people. He had a fiduciary responsibility. He had an oath of office. He had honor and dignity and integrity to uphold, and he used that against the President, who he has sworn to defend, uphold, and honor. He used it against the citizen voters who voted for this president. Comey, Clapper, Brennan use their office, use their federal position, use their salary position, use their oath of office against us, to defeat us, to destroy us, to erase us, to take away our vote and make our vote of no consequence. This is an action against you, my friends. It's against me. It's against my family, against all the 63 million people. These arrogant people in positions of power, paid for with our money, driven around by our chauffeurs, protected by our Secret Service agents, defended by our Department of Justice, and the like more. These people cravenly and disgustingly use their position against us to destroy us and to erase us and to suppress us and to subdue us and to erase our freedom. That's why I don't have any use for Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Rosenstein, because they hate us. They think they're better than you. They think they're better than me. They think they're better than Trump. They think they're better than everybody. They think they're right and everybody else is wrong. And it's about time. So A.G. Barr is building up a case. I think the case goes all the way up to Barack Obama, former president. Oh, you can't say that. It's a former president. So what? The word is former president, a past president, no longer president. I personally, I don't think we should pay any attention to past presidents. I don't pay attention to George W. Bush. I don't care what George W. Bush does. I'm sorry I voted for him. I don't care what Bill Clinton does. Disgusting as he is, I didn't vote for him, but I don't care what he does. Jimmy Carter, I didn't vote for him either. I don't care what he does. I don't care if he grows peanuts. I don't care. Ronald Reagan is dead. And Barack Obama, he can go fishing, he can go golfing. I don't care what he says. He's not important to me. I don't think former presidents should get Secret Service protection. I don't think former presidents should get acknowledgement other than hello, sir, goodbye, sir. I don't think former presidents should get Secret Service briefings. I don't think they should have a top secret clearance. Who cares? These people are yesterday's news. Their opinions are yesterday's news. Their worldview is yesterday's news. These people see the world through a lens, a pair of glasses that are outdated, and they're not with it. They're out of lane. They're out of focus. They don't know anything. What do they know? So we didn't bother with these people. Just retire them and send them off to the happy hunting ground. I don't think they should even get secretarial salaries. They can get a pension. Okay, fine, give them a pension. But that's about it. The rest of it, Barack Obama is a multi-millionaire. He entered the United States presidency with about $900,000, and now he's worth, we're told $180 million. How does a man take $90,000 and turn even $900,000 and turn it into $180 million in a few years, other than by all kinds of sale of information, intelligence, influence, and the like more? Who was a Barack Obama to send, without your approval and my approval, $4.5 billion American dollars to the terrorist regime in Iran? I mean, we don't need these people. Okay, back to A.G. Barr. A.G. Barr is trying to restore justice. He's trying to restore confidence. He's trying to restore to you and me, the 63 million voters for Donald Trump, who put him in office the first time. I believe it's going to be 70 or 80 million this time in November. I believe that. I really believe 70 or 80 or even 90 million people. If people will get off the couch, get off their butt, and go vote, I think that up to 90 million, maybe even more, will vote for Donald J. Trump to be president of the United States again for 4 more years because of his dignity, his honor, his intelligence, and his performance. The main thing, I don't care if you like his words or his lingo or his New York accent or the fact that he says hell once in a while or anything like that. It doesn't matter to me. But I look at performance. Has he performed? Yes. Has he delivered what he promised? Yes. Has he done things that no one else has been able to do? Yes. Has he accomplished tasks that no one was able to accomplish? Yes. Has he put America first? Yes. Has he restored the iras of many people?